buddies, Guilty here, and welcome to my review of the SH Figuarts Your Forger. Finally, I do apologize for this when taking so gosh darn long, guys. And you are noticing right now that this is actually, I said unboxing and review. I'm a total liar. I'm a complete liar. This is not an unboxing and review. I have already unboxed this figure because we had a complicated relationship. As you guys know, well, if you are active, well, if you're not new to my channel, I was not a fan of these two figures, the Anya and the Lloyd. They were not very good in my opinion. I thought they had a ton of problems, mainly QC problems, lack of accessories, lack of articulation. Yeah, I didn't like them, and I had a similar experience with this Your Forger figure when I took her out of the package, and I was kind of over it, and I kind of made a huge rant video instead of an actual good review, but I calmed down afterwards, started messing with this figure, and realized that it's actually pretty solid, that this one is definitely the best of the three, and I genuinely like it. Now, before anybody's like, man, DK, that's just because they're actually good figures, and you just didn't mess them enough. No, these two figures are fucking atrocious. These are absolutely horrible. I made somewhat positive reviews of these figures, and I legitimately regret it because they're so awful. They're still the characters, so, I mean, they look like, you know what, we'll save that, but let's get into this review of an actually good SH Figuarts figure. I'm pretty darn happy with this thing, but unfortunately, it's still far from perfect. She has quite a few issues, but let's jump in to the review. Taking a look at the box real quick. There's a nice picture of Yor right there. Bandai Tamashii Nations quality, Tamashii Nations Bandai Spy X Family, or I just call it Spy X Family. Whatever, if you want to call it Spy X Family, that's fine, but I call it Spy Family. Your Forger SH Figuarts. Bandai Namco. On the side, you have her like, oh, you have Your Forger. On the back, you have a ton of obligatory product shots, all of the different faces that she includes. Love that. And then another nice picture of her on the side right there. I will say, the problem that she had in the pictures where her face looked a little fat, like these two pictures right here, where her face looked way too fat and like not accurate, it's completely gone. The face in person looks so much better. All right, let's get into this review. So there is the face, and the face is very, very, very well done. You have the little hair pieces right here, and those look really, really amazing. And then you have her little gold piece right there, the little rose, the gold pieces, the earrings, very nicely done right there. The headband right here, very nicely done. The red eyes look fantastic. The mouth also looks very, very nice. And then moving down, you do have that little piece, that little sculpted detail right there on her neck, her little pendant right there. And then moving down to her dress right there, of course, yours very well endowed, and they did a great job in putting that across in the plastic form. I definitely think they did a great job on the chest sculpt right here. And then you do have these really cool little pieces right here. These are really cool. I'll talk about these more in the articulation, but they're really, really neat. So yeah, very cool right there. There's a nice picture of the back right there. So you have all of these very, very nicely done. And then moving down, the hands look really nice as well. Nice fingerless gloves right there. And then you open up these pieces right here. You have this really nice sculpted detail right here on the dress. I love all of the roses picked out. Looks really, really awesome all around right there. And the way this works is you have like this one little flap right here, and then you have these other two right here, which does work pretty darn well, and it does let you get some really good leg articulation. And then the legs right there, you do have the stockings right there, which look really great. I like the little holes up here. But yeah, the outfit is very, very basic, but hey, it is very, very, very well done. Now, quickly going over articulation, you do have a pretty good amount of movement right here at the head. These will look a little bit unnatural at points, like those aren't gonna sit right a lot of times, but hey, it is what it is. And then these pieces right here, this is really cool how they did this. So you have this little piece right here. So the arm right here is obviously very hindered, but these pieces are pegged in on either side, and you can just move them up, and that gives you all the movement that you could possibly need. And I think that they did that really, really, really well. And that gives you a little bit of butterfly. Not a ton. Still nowhere near as good as the JJK SH Figuarts, but better than her husband, that's for damn sure. And then you do get some good upward movement right there. This piece is on a little piece right here, so you can hinge it up to make it look a little bit more nicer, or you can bring it down, whichever suits your fancy more. And then you do have a little bit over 90-degree bend right here at the elbow. Definitely better than Lloyd, again, and she's pretty much just better in her husband better than her husband in just about every way when it comes to this figure. And then the hand, you have a nice up and down right here. You have a rotation at her hand right there, which is awesome. And then you have a nice ball joint right here at the chest sculpt right here, which is really, really awesome. And then you have the legs. They can go forward. They can go back because this piece is very nice and pliable. And then you have a nice movement up right there. You have some good knee bend right there, and when we do have a nice forward-facing pin for rocker for her ankle, you go up and down, and you do have a little bit of a toe joint right here. So the articulation is really, really, really good on this figure. However, with that being said, it's not all sunshine and roses, unfortunately. There's quite a few issues with this figure, and I'm going to go over a few of those right now. One issue, just loose floppy joints. Loose joints all over the place. Nowhere near as bad as her husband's, but all of these joints are just way looser than they should be. They don't have like any resistance whatsoever. You can see I'm like barely touching it here. One sec. Piece of paper. Yeah, it's really bad. Even the knees right here, watch this. I can bend it with only my pinky. All of these joints are just so much looser than they are on like Nobara here. All of Nobara's joints are so snug and so perfectly tolerant. They're fantastic. All of these joints just move like butter. They're really, really, really awesome. But yours, like so much, these are just loose. These are just looser than they should be for an $80 action figure, $70s, $80 around that. I don't know. I don't think we should be settling for these loose joints, man. I feel like we hold import figures like this at a higher standard, and I don't feel like this has reached that point right now. Now, this is a minor thing. It's okay. You can deal with it. Honestly, I would not say it's a minor thing, but it's I just wish the joints were just a little tall, were just a little better. I just wish the quality was a little bit better. And also, her legs are very janky. Again, just like so many freaking figures, one leg is longer than the other, and I just despise that. I hate that so freaking much. I understand that it's probably very difficult to get the legs to match each other, but I don't care. When you charge $80 for a figure, it better have the legs better be the same freaking length, dude. This is really obnoxious, man, and combined that with the loose joints. And then the final big problem with this figure, standing this figure up is nigh impossible. You may have noticed that I have this little plank right here, and that's because standing this figure up on my felt surface right here, it's pretty much impossible. Because her feet just don't have the support. You can get it if you try hard enough, but again, her legs are also different sizes, so it's gonna make that even more annoying. And then her feet, she just has these high heels. Now, I understand the character has high heels. I understand that, and I understand why they gave her high heels on the figure. But here's my counter argument, yo. Counter argument, include a fucking stand, dude. Stands are a wonderful thing, and they really help keep figures from falling over. And these freaking SH Figuarts Spy Family figures, this one and Anya especially, Anya even more than Yor actually, there is no excuse for why these figures did not include a stand. None whatsoever. Even if you didn't want to include the stand because you're a bunch of cheap asses, at least put a peg hole. At least put a fucking peg hole, because Bandai makes a stand. A very similar stand to Figma that plugs into the back. But hey, you can't use it with this figure because she doesn't have a fucking peg hole. How long would that have taken? How much extra manufacturing cost and time would that have taken to just put a fucking little hole in the back of the figure right there, so you didn't have to fight tooth and nail just to get her to stand up properly? It's obnoxious, man. For the price that they want for these things, man, just include a fucking stand. This is ridiculous. Like, look how much trouble I'm having standing her up right now. Look at this crap. There we go. And you might be saying, well, DK, you didn't complain about that with Nobara. Yeah, that's because Nobara doesn't freaking need a stand. She stands up perfectly. Look, even on my felt right here. She stands up just absolutely perfectly. As long as her feet are flat on the ground, she stands up. But freaking Yor, dude, if you don't have these feet perfectly on the ground, she is not going to stand up properly. I don't know why I added a properly at the end of that. She's just not going to stand up at all, dude. It's just really, really obnoxious. But there you go. Those are pretty much all of my major problems with this figure, honestly. Aside from that, she's quite good. So let's get into some comparisons. And I know what you all want to see. Here is the Forger family complete. And look, before I say what I'm going to say, I'm going to admit that these figures look awesome. They look absolutely fantastic. They look like almost picture-perfect representations of the characters from the show. However, I am a figure collector who values more than just them looking good. I want them to feel good to pose, I want them to be fun to play with, and I want them to feel like they're worth the price. And in my personal opinion, these two figures, and this one to some extent, basically this line, This was a huge disappointment, honestly, because these two figures are not worth their price whatsoever. They do not. Their quality is not up to par. Their accessories are not up to par. Check this out. This is a recent development with Lloyd here. Check this out. When I go to switch his hand, watch this. The entire hinge splits in half. I have barely even messed with this figure, and this happens every single time. And how long until that peg can't take it anymore and just pops and just breaks off? This one, that one actually still goes on, so that's very nice. But seriously, like this is absolutely unacceptable. For a figure of this price, this is absolutely unacceptable. And I've never had any kind of issues with this, with like Figmas or whatever. I did have an issue similar to that with the Amazing Yamaguchi Todoroki, but that figure had quite a bit more going for it, and it only happened once. I switched that figure's hand more, and it hasn't actually happened since that first time I did it on the review. And then Anya, dude, Anya's not worth the price at all. I don't understand how anybody in their right mind could tell you that Anya is worth 50 bucks, dude. The accessories that she comes with, oh my god, and I've seen some aftermarket prices for her as well, and oh dear god, please, dear lord. Oh, it's not worth it at all. It's not. She doesn't come with enough accessories to warrant her price, and her articulation is just pathetic, and she barely stands up. I already said it before, but standing up this figure is like trying to stand up a pencil, is like trying to balance a pencil on its eraser, dude. It's just awful. You can go watch my my last episode of Chill Collection Work, and you literally, like, while I'm making that video, while I'm like working on the collection, you literally can hear her just fall over on the top shelf, and like, it's just for the price, dude. Just include a fucking stand. Like, you people make a stand, and even if you didn't want to include it because you're stingy, peg hole. All I'm asking for is a peg hole. So yeah, to sum it up, I'm pretty disappointed in this line. I really hope Figma puts in more work and gives us some better figures with theirs. Although, let's get back to Yor, because Yor is pretty good. And here's Mommy Yor next to Kaiji-kun and the Figma Chika Fujiwara right there, so you can see how she scales with a few Figmas. Yes, Kaiji is still way too small. We get it. She is a bit big though. I mean, not like she scales perfectly with the other forgers, but she's a little big compared to like other SH Figuarts. Like here is once again, here she is with the SH Figuarts Nobara, and just for fun, here's also the Figuarts minis of both of these characters. That's kind of fun, ain't it? So yeah, I don't know for sure, but this seems a little bit big compared to Nobara. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's actually perfect height. Nobara is a teenager, so I don't know. Maybe it's perfect height. But here is Jason and Galvatron. Alrighty, let's get into the accessories. We'll start off with the alternate hands. We'll just get them out of the way. We get a pair of fisted hands, and luckily these are super easy to change, and they do not have that same problem that Lloyd has. I'm very, very happy about that. These just pop off and on really, really easily. They have a nice little funnel to them, so they just kind of go right in place, which is really, really, really great. I really love that. Although I really like these relaxed hands right here. I love relaxed hands. Relaxed hands are my favorite kinds of hands for action figures. But we also, of course, get these two gripping hands right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pop these on her right now because I mean you know why we're popping these on her, but we are gonna be going over the faces next, but you know why we're popping these on her. But we're gonna go ahead and get her ready. There we go. There we go. Oh, that's not. There we go. And then for her alternate faces, if I can get her to stand up here. I almost had her. There we go. There we go. Okay, for our alternate faces, first up, we'll just go through here. We have a really cute, super duper happy Yor right there with mouth open. I really, really like that. And then we get a super pissed off Yor. I love this face. This and this one. These are my personal favorites, personally. I love these two. And then you have a sad Yor, but eyes closed. They did do there's a nice little touch here with a teardrop right there, though. That's kind of nice, but eyes closed faces are always so meh, in my opinion. And then you have a ow, which is a pretty cute face right there if you want to have some fun with the family. I will say, I've seen a couple of stop motions where people did some stop motions of these figures, and they did a pretty amazing thing. I don't know how they had the patience to deal with that fucking Anya, dude, but they did. Even that Lloyd, dude, the articulation's terrible. But anyway, to change up her face, you just pop off her fringe right there, which just works very, very easily. You just pop off her face, and you can just put any face you want on there, and it goes right on. It's very snug. Like, everything is just kind of better on this figure compared to the Lloyd. It just, everything just feels better to switch out. Like, the hands and the face just feel better to switch out. She feels better to pose. She just feels like a superior figure, man. And to show that even more, y'all remember that the Lloyd literally couldn't even hold his gun like this gun that mine is holding right now. This came with a Marvel Legends. This isn't even the one he came with because he literally cannot hold the one he came with. And even this one, yeah, he barely holds this one too. He holds it better than the one he came with, but yeah, let that sink in that he holds this one better than the one that he came with, and it still doesn't hold it well at all. Yeah, this figure is a fucking disgrace. Oh my god. But look at this. Watch this. So of course, Yor includes her thorns for her to become the Thorn Princess right here, and these are awesome. But look at this. Watch this, guys. When you put these in her hand right here, you just slide them in here. Look at that. She actually holds them. Oh my god, that's freaking amazing. Check this out. You can even put it in upside down, and she still holds it. Oh my god, that is just amazing. It's almost like figures are meant to hold their accessories. Who would have thought? Like, I don't know about you guys, but I just really like it when my $80 action figures, I really like it when they can hold their accessories. I don't know what it is about that tiny little thing, but for me, it just makes me really happy when my $80 action figures can hold, oh my god, really? We're finally, look guys, I finally got him to hold it. What the hell? What devil magic is this? Oh, let me see if I can get it again. Damn, come on, you were holding it a couple seconds ago. You were actually doing the thing you're supposed to do with it. What the hell did I do? I really want to be able to do that again because this gun is way more accurate to the one that, I don't know, man. This is such a, it's absolutely shameful. Whatever, let's just move on. All right, but yes, this looks awesome. Like, I think they did a really great job on these. Like, the gold on these, on the Thorns looks really, really awesome. And yeah, she holds them. She actually holds them. It's amazing. And utilizing her articulation, you could definitely get some really, really fantastic movement. Like, you have really good arm movement right here. You have really good head movement. There we go. So much better. The articulation's so much better than Lloyd's. Still not, like, you can't really get like too much butterfly there. Like, you're still pretty limited right here. And also, there we go. Yeah, that's a little better right there. So yeah, you can get some really, really, really good poses. Her head looks a little unnatural right now, but oh, come on. I really want to get her to balance like this. There you go, there's a cool pose right there. So yes, the posability is way better than it is on Lloyd. Like, they just did a much, much better job on Yor overall. I guess we know what, SH Figuarts' favorite Spy Family character, right? Although there is also this. Why, man? Why, man? Okay, whatever, let's go. So yeah, there you pretty much have it. That is all the accessories you get. At least she can use them better, I can tell you that. At least she actually holds her weapons, and it's somewhat fun to change out her pieces. Yeah, that's an improvement for sure. Alrighty, final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Yor Forger. Easily the best of the line, easily, no questions asked. She has so little, she still has her problems, she is still far from perfect, but she is so much better than these two, honestly, atrocious figures, man. Like, this is just a paperweight, and this thing is it's just a bad action figure, bad quality, bad articulation, bad accessories. Like, what do you want from me? It's just a bad figure. Yor is a massive step up from Lloyd. Yeah, she's actually somewhat fun to play with. She's actually closer to the JJK SH Figuarts, although still not perfect. Janky legs, janky legs, loose joints, and why the fuck can't this company just include a fucking stand? Like, I cannot fathom how you can include a figure that's so unbelievably mind-numbingly difficult to stand up. Like, when I first got her out of the box and I put her up on my shelf with the other two, the amount of times I was sitting down watching TV, and then I just heard her fall off the shelf and almost knock off one of my, like, Figmas. Like, she almost knocked off my Kaiji Figma from my shelf, and oh my god, if she had knocked that off and broken it, oh my god, I would have been livid. But luckily she didn't. But yeah, she just kept falling off, and it's just like, just include a stand, or at least put a peg hole in the back so we can put a stand if you don't want to fucking include it. So yeah, this is definitely the best figure of the line. I don't know why you'd want to buy, I don't know why you would just buy one member of the family. If you're going to buy one, you're probably going to buy all three of them, but honestly, if you can, honestly, I don't even know if I'd really recommend getting her either. Like, at that point, you should just wait for the Figmas, which hopefully we are going to get. I don't think there's been any word on them yet, but hopefully we are going to get those, because honestly, I can't really recommend any of these figures except for Yor, and even then, it's kind of a loose recommendation. She still is a heavily flawed figure, but she's definitely better than these other two. These I can't recommend at all. Like, unless you just love the characters that much like I do, which I understand. That's like the only reason why I ended up giving them even a mildly positive review, is that I love these characters, and at least they look like the characters, but they're just not good action figures. Yor is actually a somewhat good action figure, but there you have it. At this point, I'm just going to be repeating everything. I'm just going to be repeating myself. So there you have it, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like and subscribe for some more anime figure reviews in the future. And let me know your thoughts on not only Yor, but this entire line. Leave me in the comments down below. Do you agree with my opinion? Or do you have all of these figures and you think I'm out of my mind? Do you think Lloyd is actually great? Do you think Anya is actually great? Let me know in the comments down below. But with that being said, this is DK Guillotine signing out.